Hello!
Hello.
Welcome to Weird, the People, the Myths, the Artifacts. Welcome to the first part of our special Halloween edition series about phobias. Alright, so we're going to give you 3 phobias each. We're gonna tell you who has them if we can find them, and what horror movies feature this phobia prominently, and of course we're going to give you the definition and our own thoughts on them. Alright, you want to start or should I?
It doesn't matter to me.
Alright, I'm going to give you a phobia that you'd think more people in horror movies would have given everything. I'm going to give you paleophobia, which is a fear of old objects.
Like my grandmother?
Objects, not old people. That's geriatrophobia.
Yeah, I'm terrified of old people. They scare me.
And paleophobia is... So, I can't really find anybody famous that has paleophobia. But, like, you'd think that a lot of people in movies and stuff would have it. Because of all the times that they're dealing with dangerous old objects, like Indiana Jones. Every single movie is dealing with a dangerous old object that could end the world in the wrong hands. And
Go ahead.
no, you go.
Anything like the fear of nukes in the wrong hands is a phobia. I'm sure.
Nuclear phobia.
Yeah, well, I define that. But continue.
So, as for horror movies that feature this prominently, I want to try and just do one for the big thing, even though there are a few where it's an ancient artifact causing mischief. So for paleophobia, I'm going to pick Kronos, one of the earliest Guillermo del Toro films I know of. It features Ron Perlman, and it's about a man that's being turned into a vampire in a very tragic, sympathetic way. And of course, it has a very old object, the Kronos device.
Mm-hmm.
Your turn.
So I'm going to go with one that is kind of rare. It's phobophobia. It's the fear of fear itself.
We have nothing to fear except fear itself.
Phobophobia is rare. It's basically being hyper aware of the fear and feeding on it yourself. How do I explain this? I'm afraid of being afraid. I can't picture this in my head, but somebody somewhere obviously did, and now it's a bona fide phobia. I'm still like, meh, okay. Are you afraid of fear, or are you just afraid? It's one of those. It's one of those ones. Now, honestly, I couldn't find a movie or a historical person to go with this, but just the context of it being afraid of pretty much everything.
Yeah, people who are afraid of fear should not enjoy this series.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But this is also one of the rarest phobias on like the planet.
What about Nightmare on Elm Street? He grew powerful because of people's fears.
Yes, but it grew power. Those are beings. This is just you being afraid of being afraid.
Yeah.
I can imagine the anxiety that would come with that. I can imagine the panic, the night terrors. A person with this condition would literally suck. The quality of life would just be like non-existent.
Alright. So let's go to my next one. And this is one that has been given some acclaim because a comedian kind of famously outed this guy in one of his specials. Achondrophobia.
Fear of midgets.
The fear of little people. Alright.
Poor John Stamos.
Yes, it is John Stamos.
Poor John Stamos.
So, which is a little interesting because midgets have always been kind of considered magical in history. There was a god of midgets in ancient Egypt. Midgets were considered sacred in some Native American cultures. And so to kind of go off of that, there is a movie about a very famous kind of midget with magical powers that murders people.
Willow?
Same actor, Warwick Davis. And that is Leprechaun series. Now, I'm going to go straight out and say that I'm suggesting the entire series except for one movie. And it's not the Leprechaun Goes to Space movie. It's a Leprechaun Origins, because I hate it. It was just a money grab off the much more popular Leprechaun series. There's nothing Leprechaun about this movie. It's basically just using the name Leprechaun to fool people into thinking, oh, hey, I love this series. No, you will not love this movie. I don't like it. I really don't like it. And I'm mad about it. And I'm going to be mad about it forever.
Okay.
No, I have one thing.
Oh, what's up?
Like, a disproportionate amount of Leprechaun's kills are neck snaps. Okay? He kills people from exploding them, from turning them into leprechauns, from popping out of their dingling.
You can stop right there with the word dingling.
But yeah, I just wish there was less neck snaps, because that's like in every movie.
I get that.
All right, your turn.
So, my next one is called nomophobia. And now this is a modern day affliction, and it has happened to everyone. There is not a person listening to this right now this has not happened to, because if you say it hasn't, you're a lie. Nomophobia is a modern day thing. It's the fear of being without one's phone. You leave your phone, you're afraid somebody's going to find it, blah, 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 blah. You grab your phone, you walk off with it, it's in your hands all day. If it comes up missing, your heart skips a beat. Okay, now everyone listening has been affected by this. Back in the day, we didn't have cell phones. I know that's weird, and soda pop only cost a nickel. But
how old are you?
Shut up. But back in the day, we didn't have phones, so this was a relatively new thing. Now everybody's got them. Like I said, you got your face glued in it all the time. You're checking social media. You're checking email. You're making calls. You're posting to Instagram. You're doing whatever. And when one of those routines gets interrupted because we lost something, we freak out about it. Now, do I know any famous people with this? Like I said, I assume that this has probably hit everyone on Earth.
Except for people that never had a phone to begin with.
Pretty much.
Though, I feel like there is a sort of rationality to this fear, because the phone is so integral to our modern day way of life, this connection to other people, that, and not to mention, you have all these secrets on your phone just for you because it's your personal device.
Yeah, you leave your phone at the bar, guy picks up the phone, he's mistaken, it's not his, but it's unlocked, he sees your nudes. That's a fear. That's a bona fide fear. It gets better, you know. I assume we just need to detransition from a phone to something else, and we'll forget about the phones, and we'll have to have that certain other thing.
Yeah, we're gonna regress back to Morse code.
Pretty much, yeah. That's about the only way we're going to get rid of it. Once you decide to put it down and just be done with it, never to pick it up again. Can you? No. Why? Because we need to know.
All right. And what movie features a person losing their phone?
Countless. There are countless of movies of people losing their phone, and when they lose their phone, bad things happen.
All right.
The fear is real. It strikes fear in your heart. Even talking about it kind of strikes fear in your heart.
You know, yeah. Like in every horror movie, the phone either's dead or it loses signal or you lose the phone. And like, I would say the call would be the best one because the person has the phone, that's their lifeline, then they lose it, and they're kind of trapped in a bunker.
Kinda. You can also. There's several movies. There was one with a guy who answers a random payphone on the street.
Is that the one with the sniper?
Yeah, it's the one with the sniper. I don't remember the name of the movie, but it was amazing because he has to hold on to this phone no matter what. He's afraid to put it down because if he does, he's gonna die.
Oh my gosh.
So it preys on that. Don't put the phone down.
All right, I'm gonna look up the name of this movie and put it up on the screen right now. Behold this movie that we have just been talking about. I am going to look at this because I remember it, but I don't remember it. Movie. And now it's my turn.
So moving on.
So, I know I just did a kind of lighthearted one, but I'm going to do another lighthearted one because the next one's probably not going to be as lighthearted. And that's going to be ovinophobia, the fear of sheep. Not to be confused with bovinophobia, the fear of cows.
Moo.
Alright, so ovinophobia is the fear of sheep. And most people, I get it, there is really nothing that they can fear except for a few things, in which case, sheep can bite very hard.
Oh, yeah.
They're normally docile, but they can be, but like all livestock animals, given the right circumstance, they can attack you. Like ponies, they have sharp teeth on their jaws and that can cut through people's Achilles tendons. It has happened.
It's also, remember that one that we used to have that hit me, like rammed my leg because of the other two sheep and he was trying to get some? Yeah. That was bad.
And
that hurt.
So we've kind of relied on sheep for a really long time, like 5,000 years long time for at least. And we've domesticated them, so it's a little terrifying when a sheep that you've basically bred into submission through constant genetic tinkering turns against you because it's like you were in total control of this animal, but now you're not. And of course, there is really only one movie that features killer sheep or even a character with ovinophobia, and that is Black Sheep. Not to be confused with the thing that's like 30 years to the day. I mean, the recent Black Sheep. Where there's mutant sheep, were sheep.
Were sheep.
Yeah. I love weird things like this.
Weird, just sheep is just. How can a person be afraid of a walking Q-tip?
If they all came at you and started biting you at a young age, or in the movie where a person killed his favorite sheep and wore its flesh as a kind of murder sheep.
I'm telling you, if we make lamb chops, the first one that bites you, you make a lamb chop out of it, and then you just set out in the barbecue area and you let the other sheep watch you eat it, they'll know. Don't do it again.
All right. Did you do your third one?
Yes, I did. No, I've done my second. This is my third.
Yeah.
So my third one is, this is probably going to be the strangest one I've ever heard of. It's called decidiophobia. It's the fear of making decisions. Now, I don't know if you know how many decisions you make a day, but there's quite a few. You have to make the decision to go to the bathroom, to eat, to drink, to watch TV. There's an endless amount of decisions you make per day. Now, imagine you're afraid to make those decisions because maybe you're afraid that it's the wrong one or it's not, what you should do, but it's what you want to do. And you're so jumbled with this fear that other people have to make the choice for you just so you can live.
I knew some people like that once.
I've known some pretty submissive people who you make the decision for and they just do it because whatever. I've known some hard-headed people who, you tell them, this is what you need to do, and they're going to do the complete opposite. Why? Because oppositional defiance disorder. That's why, or whatever. But I've never seen somebody where you have to make every choice for them.
For those of you who don't know, because I haven't put this on the video yet, the Pale Father actually has a degree in mind science.
I have a bachelor's degree in psychology from the University of Kentucky.
Yes, he's a Southern Viking. They exist.
We're rare, but we do exist.
All right. Um, but what movie would that be? I have an idea, but I'm hoping it's not.
As far as making decisions, there's not one that's just based solely on that. And anybody who's watched movies can tell you at one point, if somebody in the movie is always like, "What do I do? What do I do? What do I do?" Okay, well, it's like that.
Well, there is a couple movies where decisions are a mechanic of the horror, like the Truth or Dare movie. You have to choose between ruining your life or doing something insanely dangerous to your body.
And all that's doing is playing on, that fear, the fear to make decisions, and it's making it stronger. But there's these are I'm talking about real people. These real people who can't make decisions, they have to have somebody with them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, just to do the decisions for them. You need to use the bathroom. Okay, so they get up, go to the bathroom. You need to wipe your butt. Okay, so they wipe their butt. Because they don't want to make that choice. They don't want to make that decision. There are people who also just shut down. Who just like, you know what? I'm tired. Every decision I make is bad, and I don't want to do it no more. Is that a cop out? No, it just means they have some shit going on in their life. They've been told everything. They've been told something from everything they've ever done was bad, or something around that nature, and it just screws with their self worth, dignity, their yeah. It just messes with them.
Well, that was 6 phobias with a few cameos from other phobias. And we're going to return next week, not next month, for another batch of phobias. We're going to do this 4 times, hopefully. And I hope that you enjoy this journey with us. All right. Bye.
Bye.